Hello everybody and welcome back for another clarinet tutorial from Nottingham Music Excellence. So I'm going to play that lovely piece in the grade 7 book for ABRSM clarinet called Romance by Robert Schumann. Now this originally was written for oboe. It's from a set of 3 romances written for oboe, but you know, this still sounds really lovely music on the clarinet, so I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so you've heard the music now. Let's say a few words about the detail of the music and what you need to put in there to make it sound really awesome. So is it a grade 7 piece? It looks quite easy compared to the other pieces, doesn't it? I think it kind of is. Although I do think this could quite easily go in the grade 6 list and swap places with the Finzi Prelude. I think the Finzi Prelude is a really quite an advanced piece for grade 6. And it's got a lot more variety of things in there. But hey, who am I to say such things, you know? But I think easily this could be a good first advanced piece in the grade 6 list. And let's swap it with the Finzi Prelude, I think. But this certainly has got its difficulties. It's not an easy piece to play. The legato phrases, it's got to be played very musically. You've got to know the piano part really well. And I would say it needs quite a lot of rehearsing with the piano. You've got to get really comfortable playing this with the piano. So make sure you don't just have a quick run through on the day of your exam with this one. You won't get away with that with this kind of piece. Okay, so it says nicht schnell at the start of the piece. Now that means not fast. Actually doesn't mean a very lot at all, does it really? It's not particularly a precise indication as to what speed you're supposed to play it at. But I think it just means basically don't hurry it, don't play it in a hurried manner, just really enjoy the beautiful music. And I'm going to link down in the description, there's a beautiful performance actually that I found on YouTube with the original oboe playing it. And if you listen to that, you will notice it's quite a slow piece, generally speaking. But this is the crunch. I think when you're playing this for an exam, you've got to be really careful, perhaps not to wallow in it too much and not to play it too slow, because it just makes it so much more difficult on the breathing. So the blending of the clarinet part with the piano part is really key to this, and when you listen to my performance of it, you'll notice that I've tried to balance the piano and the clarinet quite equally on this piece. I don't really see the piano part as an accompaniment. It really is a constant kind of musical duet between the two instruments. And you'll notice that every phrase kind of has its push and its pull. You know, it's always either moving on somewhere or falling back a little bit in tempo. So it really's got a slightly elastic feel to it all the way through. But I think you've just got to play that very carefully and not overdo it too much. So let's look at a few of the notes. So now, a bit like that other piece that I played, the Dreamer, that I think that's not an easy entry. You know, if you walk into the exam, if you play this first, this is your A piece. You walk into a new room, you're a little bit nervous. You know, anything could go on that first note. So just be really careful how you place that first note, and just kind of falling off that acciaccatura just makes it that little bit trickier, I think. So the intervals here in this piece are one of the tricky elements of the piece. So you've got this. And then you've got things like. So a good recipe for a few squeaks here. You've got to be really careful how you place those intervals, especially that C sharp to C sharp. I think that's quite awkward. And they've put an accent on the upper C sharp. I think that makes it quite difficult. I'm trying to minimise that accent, I think, because I'm just too scared of squeaking that one. And I think if you go too much for that accent, it just sounds a little bit abrupt as well. Now, the moment at 33, 34, 35, 36, a good opportunity to really play out, really expand your sound here. You don't want to sound tight and squeaky up that part of the instrument. And those sforzando pianos, you've got that with the piano there. Make a real feature of that, I think. I've noticed when I've played this a few times, one of the trickier aspects of this piece is definitely the breathing. There are kind of clear and obvious places to breathe, but I think the phrases are just in a certain way where you only just kind of get to those points. You know, you've got to be really careful how you time the music and how much sound you put in there. There's a little bit of articulation detail in the middle there, isn't it, that you've got to get just after the piano. Now the last few lines, this is the sticky point, I think, in terms of playing this for an exam. Now this is the last three lines. I think this is the place where you've really got to know the piano part. So especially just before the last three lines, where the piano comes up with quavers and you go down with quavers. So make sure you synchronize those really carefully. I found this bit quite hard to do actually with a fixed backing track through the headphones. I found this piece was a bit of a nightmare to put with the backing track actually. So You might want to slightly cut short that 2-note B there. You'll probably almost certainly need a good breath. And then you might want to take a breath there, either that or before the previous bar. Now here you've got a bit of freedom here. I noticed on the ABRSM recording they seem to go off on a completely different tempo and they play it quite fast, much faster than I've heard on other recordings. So I think that's basically it for the tricks and tips for this piece. Have a go at playing along with that piano part yourself. Good luck, it's quite tricky to follow, but I think after you've played it enough times you'll get the hang of it. I haven't added any clicks into the piano part like I did on the Dreamer. So maybe try and play it along a few times with the score so you can see the piano part, and that way you'll get to know the piano part a lot quicker. So have a go at playing that with yourself. Here we go. Okay, so I think that's it for this piece. If you did enjoy the video and you found it useful, of course, don't even think about clicking away onto anything else till you've clicked that like button, and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel if you want other updates of videos and you want to see future videos of other tutorials that I do. But for this one, that's it, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!